I think we're live. Stephanie, does it look like we're live? I think we are.
Yes, we are.
We are. All right. Thanks. I wanted to say, Brian, thank you, who is just here getting us started. I'm Stacy Hall, better known as the Go For Yes gal because of the Go For Yes on Social Challenge here in your guide section of your MLSP VIP group. And I am joined by Stephanie Oden, who I have been really impressed with how she's been using LinkedIn over the last few years. And so Stephanie is a very treasured member of our MLSP community. Stephanie, hi, thanks for giving up part of your Saturday to be with
Thank you for
us.
the invitation, Stacy.
Well, this is day one, folks, and let's just recap. Stephanie. Yeah, okay, there we go. We covered a few reasons why you might want to be on LinkedIn on this past Wednesday's webinar. And so I want to actually get over to those reasons here. So I'm going to screen share just to recap really quickly, because some of you may not know some of these statistics about LinkedIn. So here we go. And if you haven't been on it, yeah, it could be costing you lots of money in terms of sales. On the other hand, it might not be. And today we're going to explore first your audience and whether it's there on LinkedIn. But let's start with this. 41% of millionaires use LinkedIn. 45% of LinkedIn users have an annual income of $75,000. 24% of LinkedIn users have an income between $50,000 and $75,000. Now, why does this matter? Well, if you want to attract professionals, people who have money to buy your services, your products, then you probably want to be hanging out on LinkedIn when these kinds of numbers are there compared to what's true about Facebook. So Stephanie, I know you've been using LinkedIn for quite a while. Have you noticed that your connections there when you're dealing with people are maybe of a more professional nature than they are on Facebook? And anything you want to say about that? And I'm going to stop sharing for a sec.
Yes, that is one thing that I noticed, is that people are of a more professional nature. You don't see a lot of pictures of what people ate and their pets and different things like that. So it is more of a business environment.
Yeah. And it has been more of a business environment. I dropped something, a graphic right before we went live in the MLSP VIP group, that somebody actually did a post and said, stop, this isn't Facebook. Stop posting nonsense on LinkedIn. Well, the world is shifting over on LinkedIn, and LinkedIn's getting with the program, but there definitely is going to be pushback if we operate just like Facebook. So LinkedIn's becoming more personal, but the vast majority of people who are on it are not going to appreciate if you do, as Stephanie said, talked about what you ate for breakfast on LinkedIn. There's already a platform for that. It's called Facebook. And if you want to take pictures of it, it's called Instagram. But if you want to do business to business, what we call being in the professional services arena, then you want to be on LinkedIn. And the reason we're not talking about personal profiles today on LinkedIn, tomorrow I'll show you how to set it up for an all-star ranking. We want to help you determine today, Stephanie and I, if your audience is on LinkedIn. So normally when I'm talking about Facebook, I'll ask you, who's your audience? But for LinkedIn, I'm going to do it differently. The question then becomes, what do you do? Are you a coach? Are you a dietitian? Are you a chiropractor? Are you a virtual assistant? Are you a hairstylist? Are you an insurance agent? Are you a realtor? Stephanie, come to anything that you can think of. Oh, social media expert. Any others that you can throw out there inside of professional services?
Photographer.
Photographer. Okay, so we also have credit repair specialist or a retirement, a financial analyst for sure.
Yeah, just thinking that.
Investment brokers. So see, for LinkedIn, we have to think first, what professional services category are we under? Nurses, okay? Different from network marketer. Now, can you find network marketers on LinkedIn? Well, we're going to find out because Stephanie and I are going to do some searching on LinkedIn. We're going to show you right now how to search for your audience, but it would be even easier if you're in network marketing, but you will also do something else. And this is where, if you're still in the corporate world like Stephanie is, it makes it even easy. So Stephanie, what would you consider your professional distinction? Is what job, we'll say, I know it's like a dirty word here, but what job do you do during the day?
During the day, I'm a process improvement engineer.
She's an engineer. She can be networking with other engineers because she's got credibility with them. And they can start hanging out talking about engineering stuff, which I have no clue about. But as she gets friends with them, she can start to find out, hey, are you doing anything on the side? You have a side hustle. How's it going building that side hustle while you still have a full-time job like I'm doing? So this is where we want to meet people to people. All right, Stephanie, any important questions before I go share onto LinkedIn and we start doing some hunting? They may tell us what professional services industry they're in.
No one listed anything that we had not. The digital marketing, someone mentioned that they were in digital marketing, but no others. Life coaching, we talked about that. Business coach, travel advisor. Those are some of the ones.
Travel agents. Okay. Think about that. So that's the thing. On LinkedIn, you're not a travel advisor, you're a travel agent. So we use the terms that are actually used in professional services categories. And if you don't know, you can Google professional services and what will come up are a whole long list. And you just give yourself one of those titles, the one that matches what you do. So even on LinkedIn, consultant is the replacement for coach. If you don't do anything else except coach, then you'd call yourself a consultant. Authors, speakers, if you're a professional speaker. Okay, so here we go. We're going to head on over now to LinkedIn. And there's a few different ways to search. I'm just going to move you all over here. And we're going to start with the search bar up here in the upper left-hand corner. Stephanie, do you think everybody can see that in the left-hand corner? Up here on LinkedIn, is my screen sharing? Okay.
Yes, it is, Stacey. It's sharing.
Okay, great. So I already had nursing up here, so I'm just going to put it because I know there's a lot of nurses. And if you put in nursing and then you put in people, so if you want to connect with other nurses, and by the way, on LinkedIn, you're not prospecting nurses if you're not a nurse. That's what they will not enjoy that. If you're here and you're reaching out to them, don't go, I think nurses would like my product, because they're going to say, so tell me about you being a nurse. And if you say I'm not, they're like, then why did you contact me? Right, Stephanie? Yes.
Yes. That some of the things I learned early on are some of the things you shared before. It was not received well when I was reaching out to people that I had no real experience as to what they were dealing with.
Right. Business to business. So if some of you are starting to think, well, I don't fit into a category, well, then maybe LinkedIn isn't going to be where you want to be, and you want to go back and spend more time on Facebook. But for many of you, it's been hard to find people in the professional services category that need your services, or that you can have specific business to business conversations with. So if you did nursing and then people, as I said, we'll look at network marketing. So we'll put in network marketing and people. Okay, so you can find them. There are people who identify themselves as network marketers here. Notice the ones that have pictures. Notice the ones that don't. That's going to become important tomorrow when we talk about profession. Stephanie, you're nodding and smiling. Why are you nodding and smiling when I said that?
Because the picture says a lot. If they don't have a picture, they may not be the right person for you to target, the right person for you to talk to first. You may come back and investigate. They may be and just not know how to do LinkedIn, but that's not someone I would stop and talk to first.
Right. So some of you might have just gotten really excited. Oh my God, there's 4 million people in network marketing here. Okay. Okay, good. Let's remind everyone, LinkedIn is not a chatty platform. You said you can connect. Be aware, LinkedIn is not a place that people spend their day all day long and into the night. They use it for business. So if they're here doing business. So you may not want to do network marketing. Let's say, I'm just going to pull up randomly any company. Let's just say Mary Kay. Okay, 157,000 people have identified themselves as Mary Kay reps. If you're a Mary Kay rep and you're reaching out, they're going to be more likely to want to respond to you. But if you're writing to them here on LinkedIn to say, hey, I've got a better skincare option than Mary Kay, it's not going to go over very well. Okay, so I know I'm not making it really clear. By the end of the 5 days, you'll understand why. All I wanted to show you today is you can find people. So let's do credit repair. So financial services, let's call it that. So let's say that you have a network marketing business you represent, and it's all about credit repair and credit services or insurance services, not things, Stacy. And you want to see who else is in the financial services arena. Well, there's 18 million people who have financial services in their profile. So if you can honestly, legitimately call yourself a financial services professional, these are people you can connect with. And if the connect button is here, LinkedIn is saying even with a free account, because everything we're doing is with free accounts. So I'm just curious, drop an X if you just got excited about how easy it is to find people to connect with just by using the search and the people button. Anybody, Stephanie, is anybody watching us live?
I need some X's. I don't see any X's yet. There may be a delay, so I'm looking for
still
X's.
live?
Oh, okay, I see we're still live, and I see some X's starting to come in.
Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go. I'm seeing them
There we
myself.
go.
Okay, good.
There we go.
Yeah. So, all right, now locations. Let's come over. So the green button is people. I just showed you people. Here's locations. United States. I'm in Vegas. I could do New York City. You could do United Kingdom and start really narrowing the search. So now for financial services in the United Kingdom, there's only 1.5 million results instead of 18 million. All right. Now, was that? Drop me another X if you're like, oh my gosh, now I can like really have something to talk to. We're both in the United Kingdom. Or maybe I want to put in here just London. London, England, United Kingdom. Wait, yes, London, England. We're going to take out the United Kingdom. And now there's 482,000 results. That'll keep you busy for a while. Okay, so that's That's how you use the location button. So are we getting more X's in by any chance?
Yes, we are. Yes,
Okay, good,
yes,
good, good.
yes.
All right, and I say a shout out to Paul and Cheryl and Iveth and Ingrid, Kim, Cheryl Ann, Ursula, Janet, Dale, Catrice. I'm just gonna do a shout out to a few of you as we pop over there. So Stephanie, since you've been here for a while, when you do a search, do you use this way of searching? Because there's other ways of searching. Is this your primary or secondary way?
The search bar is my primary. That is my primary. And there's times I've used work from home as one of my search features. So I didn't go by categories necessarily. So I would put in work from home and see what would come up.
Work from home. Okay, so we've got, let me take London out. Let's see what the whole world is. So there's 3.7 million people who say they work from home. That's great. It's another way to get to network marketing. Okay, if you want to start a conversation with people and say, hey, I see you work from home and you're also on LinkedIn, go for it. Why am I being guarded here? Because I'm just going to say, just because you can doesn't mean it will pay off. Just like on Facebook, if you have more in common with the people. So Stephanie, has this paid off for you? I mean, if it has, great. But if you've narrowed your search at all, has it been better for you?
It has been better for me because I really have something in common to talk to them about, and it's more natural. That's where, like you were saying, if it's work from home, I can talk to them about that. If it's engineers, I can talk to them about that. It's finding common things in their language, and that's what I used to search for.
Right. So if it was me, I would go, since you guys already know I'm in Las Vegas, I go work from home, Las Vegas, and I'd be looking for the people with pictures, because that means they really know how to use LinkedIn. And I'd be writing a message that says, hey, great to meet you. I see you're also on LinkedIn. Maybe when COVID is over and everybody's, back to think we could meet each other in person. How long have you been on LinkedIn? How's it going for you? You work from home. So those of you in MLSP who have an audience of network marketers or mompreneurs or people who work from home, you can find them here on LinkedIn. They're just not going to be as chatty as they will be on Facebook. And you'll find that out as you come along. Right.
Stacy, someone mentioned that they search by hashtag. So they have a hashtag, and they didn't say which one, but they do search, use a hashtag to search.
That isn't, okay, so let's say you want to reach, there's a hashtag mindset coach. Well, when you do this, it's basically you can follow the hashtag, and what's happening then is anybody who's posted who identifies themselves as a mindset coach is going to show up in the feed. That's how you find them. And you can comment on their posts. And I will tell you that if you comment on their posts, they'll love it. So let's just choose one. Okay. Okay. And these are all, they're positioning themselves as thought leaders. Okay. Women Want Men's Voices, Real Talk with Sarah Rose. The best things in life live on the other side of fear. Okay, so this one hasn't gotten a lot of comments. That's what I look for, the ones that haven't gotten a lot of comments. So I'll give them a little light bulb emoji, and I'll say, I completely agree with you. Great graphic. Doesn't matter what you say. She's only gotten one comment. 3 other people just reacted. I can promise you, Emily Fryer is going to reach out to me. Now, She says she's a brand and e-commerce developer, cultivating ways to coach a growth mindset. Now, you might say she's not popular here. I have no idea whether she's popular. And the reason being is our world does not, in LinkedIn, does not depend on engagement.
Correct.
Stephanie, you want to say more about that?
That's correct. What you're doing, that's how you create those connections, is having, start those conversations by commenting real thoughtful, insightful things on what they posted. And that's what I found.
Right. And those who comment get attention, but it doesn't mean anything about them if there's no comments on their post.
I wanted to share this. Angela Brooks brought it up, and it's a good point. And I've done this as well, is when I respond to that comment, I always do at their name.
Okay.
So it basically tags them. I mean, they'll see the response, but it makes it more personal.
It does make it more personal. That is true. But up here in the notifications, there's a note which we'll talk about on another day. They will automatically be notified anyway. If I was going to do anything to make it more personal, and Angela, I agree with you. I'm not disagreeing with you, but let me go back to one that I just did. If I really wanted them to know. So this one I just commented on, I'd click on her name. Now she's a third connection, but because I am, okay, so I can't send it. I can't send an email to somebody who I'm not connected with. But if she now contacts me, then I'll be able to accept her connection request. So that's another thing. So yeah, and you can edit. So I could go here and say, let's see, was she Emily Fryer? But she may not come up because she's not one of my connections. So that's why I'm saying it's a bit of a drawback. You have to, if you're already connected, you can do that. If you're not already connected, she will get it in her notifications, and then she'll likely send me a connection request. And where those show up is here on my network. And I get these all day long. Well, there's Theory, and I know why he's reaching out to me. So I've already accepted a ton of them today. And then if I click on see all 5, so even if somebody's not a first connection, if they show up here, I can message them. Well, let's get back to more searching, because there's more ways to search. Okay. Now, let's go back to the search bar. Let's put in, Stephanie, you choose. What industry, what professional services?
Travel agent.
Okay, let's do travel agent. So we know we can hit the people button, and there's 663,000 people identified themselves as travel agents. If we hit connections and you want to see if you're already connected to them or what level they're on, you can see that, but you can also see it right here. So there's no point using that button. It's right here. Susan is on my 2nd level. We've already done locations, but let's say you know a specific company that they're in. So, or you don't, but you want to focus on a specific company. Here's some companies that are here. So let's just pick one, IntelliTravel. 1,900 people are inside IntelliTravel. If you know something about the company, you've got more in common with them. Or let's get back to, I think PlanNet is a network marketing travel agency. So there's 414 people who've called themselves PlanNet travel agents. These are all folks who have let you know they're here on LinkedIn to do business. You could contact them and ask them how it's going being on LinkedIn. And if they're having trouble, you could invite them to this challenge. Not too late to invite people to the challenge. Stephanie, anything else before I show another way to make connections?
Just real quick, Kim had asked a question that we're going to cover it later on in the challenge about how you convert the conversation into your thing.
Yep, definitely
So we're going to cover that
definitely
later.
going to cover that during the challenge. Right now, I just want to give everybody for this first day how to get on LinkedIn after we close off so you can start searching for people to connect with. And just play. If you want to put a connection out there, go ahead. If you want to wait until your profile's set up completely, which is what I would recommend, this is just a way to play, explore, and discover before you're ready. So if your profile's already set up and you feel good about it, then you've probably already been making connections. If this is your first introduction to LinkedIn, why don't wait? Just figure out who you're going to wind up connecting, which research idea resource that I'm giving you want to use. So there's another one. All right, here comes another. So here in the upper right hand corner where it says work, if you didn't know it was there, you wouldn't know it was there. But if you belong to a group, once you get on here, you start playing around. Some of you already are in groups. This is where you would find the groups you're in. You just click on groups. So yes, LinkedIn has groups. And if you want to create a group, this is where you can create your own group. But these are a few of the groups that I'm in. But let's go back to the search. Under search, there was people, companies, posts about travel agent. Here's groups. So if you're a travel agent and your audience is other travel agents because you want to bring them over to MLSP, you could join the Tour Operator Travel Agent group with 37.7 thousand members, the Travel Agent Network with 23,000 members, Insider Travel, 4.8 thousand members. And why would you want to join the group? Because now you're talking B2B, business to business. And now, because you're in the group, you can easily send messages and connection requests to anyone else who's in the group without having to pay to upgrade. So Stephanie, do you belong to any groups?
I do, but I don't remember what they are right now.
Well, it's easy. You can go to your hamburger stack and they'll remind you what groups you belong to.
And
so,
that, I mean, that's a good point, Stacey. And you know, as we're going through this, I'm upping my game too, right? There's things that I'm learning and improving as I go. So like you said, just keep playing and getting better and better. And so now I'm going back and look to, okay, what group makes sense? I did want to bring out, we had a question on what the levels mean.
okay.
Someone had asked that in the group, and now,
Good.
So I wanted you to see if you could cover that.
Absolutely. I'm going to do that right now. So there's level 1, level 2, level 3. And that means level 1 is they're connected to you. Level 2 is you're like 1 degree of separation in some area. And usually LinkedIn will let you send a connection request to a level 2 or a second connection person. 3 connection, level 3, it's not actually called level 3. It means a connection on your 3rd level means you're too far away to make a direct connection. You would need to have somebody introduce you or find them in a group. And that's why I'm doing this group search to bypass that need to find somebody to introduce you. So here, I just did work from home. Stephanie, if anybody is like, oh, are there any work from home groups? Well, there are. Mm-hmm. So here, people promoting part-time jobs, 79,000 members. Work from home moms, 36,000 members. Work from home and remote computer consulting opportunities, 6,000 members. So I don't belong to any of those. So I can't show you what happens in those groups, but I'm going to choose one of my groups and I'm going to show you. So I'm in the art of network marketing. There's 27,000 people here. There's post after post after post with very little engagement. You remember Stephanie and I said, don't worry about how little engagement there is.
Mhm.
People are not chatty on LinkedIn. So you might say, well, I'm not going to hang out in this group. Please don't. I'll have it all to myself. Because 27,000 members right here in the, Stephanie, can everybody see that? Right here where my cursor's going. Right here it says.
They're getting there's a little bit of a slight delay. So
Okay.
they're seeing it soon.
Okay. Well, there's a right here. This box tells you where all the members are, and I'm going to hit see all. And guess what? I can have a field day now. So I'm going to look for somebody who matches my audience profile. Hey, there's Susan from MLSP. Let's see. And there's a lot of people here who have professional, you might say he's a quality assurance analyst. Why is he in the network marketing biz? Side job, side hustle. His profile on LinkedIn is his professional profile, and he's hiding out in a group where his boss can't see. Yes, Stephanie?
Yep, that is correct. That is correct. I did have a good question. Betsy is in our group, and she asked. She said, "I'm a health coach and a Pilates teacher, but I want to connect with people in healthcare, like physicians, assistants, and nurses."
Okay, again, so, I can show you where those groups are. And with Stephanie and I mentioned on LinkedIn, if you are not one of them, they are not going to be pleased if you contact them. That is the different culture. So I'll show you how to do that. Let me go ahead and finish this group, and then I will show you how you can meet people in the healthcare industry. But you've got to be able to talk their own language. If that's how LinkedIn got started, business to business. Do you understand what I do? Now, if you're a sales rep to the healthcare industry, great. Then be sure you're using the terminology of their business. We'll show you that in a minute. Stephanie, so far so good?
Yep. And the other question we talked about that I want to make sure.
Okay, let's hold the question. I want to finish showing the connection, and then we'll get to that question.
Okay.
All right. So I'm looking for somebody here who matches my audience profile, and she's on the second level. So I'm going to go with Jennifer. Okay. Do you want true mentorship? Oh no, she's mentor. So you really got to look through here. Okay. Heidi. And for some reason, that name sounds really familiar. Heidi may even be an MLSP, but let's go ahead. I'm going to send her a message. She's on my second level. Okay, so I have been sending messages. I will say LinkedIn will, and you won't know when. It'll just stop you from sending messages. Oh, no, it's going to let me. Okay, so if it doesn't have the send button on, you have to start the message. So I'm going to say, hi, Heidi. I am also in the art of network marketing group, and I saw, well, I've already said that, also in the marketing group, and I am reaching out with a connection request. I love to learn about LinkedIn tips from other people in the network marketing industry. I'm just making this up on the side, just making the connection. How long you been using LinkedIn? And we'll just say, do you like it better for attracting team members? So I'm using the language, right? Network marketers have team members, for attracting team members than other platforms like Facebook. See, I'm getting right to, we're going to talk about sales. That's why we're here. And that's how you would make a connection. And she's going to get it up here in her network, and she may or may not accept it, which is why I'm going to do a few of these each day I come on board. All right, let's go back to the healthcare questions. So first off, somebody who's in Pilates, let's go up to the search and go Pilates. Oh, I got to get out of the Art of Network Marketing group. So let's go, right, and sometimes you literally just have to close out. LinkedIn can be a little funky. Stephanie, have you found that? I get glitches all the time in LinkedIn.
I do.
Okay, so now I'm back in the search bar. Let's go to Pilates. And there's 377 groups of Pilates related to Pilates. If you're in Pilates, you might want to start making connections with other Pilates instructors or aficionados. But let's say we want to meet people who have Pilates in their name. That's 196,000 people. Now, let's go here. What did she say, Stephanie? What was the, she wants to contact people in what area of healthcare?
Well, she wants to talk to nurses and like the physician's assistants, because she actually go into a Pilates group and see if there are any nurses or physicians assistants in those groups.
She could, but it would be time intensive, because you'd have to go through each person's profile, because right here's what they're telling you. But yeah, you could go into the group, go to the members, see if anybody's there who's doing, or you could write a post in the group, but most people are not going to respond to it. So that's what I'm saying. It's in this case, for that purpose, well, we already showed how to find nurses.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now let's try all filters. Let's just see what happens. Let's go nursing. And we've got the people, and let's go to filters. What kind of filters? Company, past company, school, industry, language, service categories. And you could put in, okay, keywords, first name, last name, title, company. Let's put in Pilates under title and see if anything shows up. 517 results of nurses who also have Pilates in their profile to find. So there you go. Great, Stephanie. Great idea. All right, you have another question from somebody?
Yes, definitely. The one talking about paid accounts versus unpaid accounts on LinkedIn. Someone asked if it was beneficial to do the professional account.
I've got my opinion before I put my opinion out, but I know you've done both too. What do you think?
I have not run out of people to talk to using the free account. I'm just not. That's my opinion. It's whenever I think I need a new person, I just find a new hashtag, a new group, a new whatever. But I have not found the value in the paid, because I've not run out of people to talk to.
Oh. The paid is really for companies that want to recruit staff, not recruit team members. We're used to, in network marketing, recruiting means recruiting people for our team. Companies that need the extra professional services pay that, and it's very expensive. So their human resources managers use LinkedIn to be able to refine job searches. People who are looking for jobs also get extra services if they pay for it. And oftentimes they'll pay for it for a short amount of time, and then they'll give it up once they found their job. as Stephanie said, I've had the same experience. I've been here for years and years, always with a free account. I attempted sometimes you get a free month of the paid version. I wasn't able to do anything more with it than I could with the first. With the paid version, I think you can contact second and third connection level people, but I can do that through groups like I just found. So why should I pay for it? Yeah. So Stephanie and I are of the same mind. Don't pay if you don't have to pay. Any other questions?
That's all I see right now.
All right. Well, that's what we wanted to introduce you today is, can you find your audience? So everybody who's watching, do you think you can find your audience on LinkedIn? Now that I've shown you what to do, and I'm sure people are over on LinkedIn playing with that too. So we're going to wait a second. If how many people think they can find their audience now on LinkedIn?
I'm looking. I see some yeses starting to come in. Yes, 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 yes,
Yes.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Then our job
Yes,
here is
yes.
done for the day. Betsy says, I got a free month, forgot to cancel it. What can I do to utilize my last month of the paid LinkedIn? Well, what I would do actually, Betsy, is I would Google what can you do with a paid account that you can't do with a free account, and see if it's worthwhile to you. Because for the most part, paid accounts are just like paid ads on Facebook. They're very similar. A company that needs to advertise a lot, or somebody who's got the money, the budget to run ads in addition to making personal connections, does that on Facebook. A company that's got extra money to burn on and needs the extra services that you pay for. So that would be what I would suggest is you can just Google, what can I do with a paid account that I can't do with a free LinkedIn account? You'll see if there's anything there that you want to take advantage of before your month runs out. And Stephanie, any others there that you think?
Yes, I did see another question Dana asked. She asked about if you put a message in a group, will that prompt a connection request automatically? So if you
Okay,
come in a group, will that automatically generate a connection request?
no, it's not
I didn't think so.
automatically. It doesn't work like that because there's no welcome. No, there's no welcome message that goes out from the admin. That's not even a feature. So when you come into a group, if you put a post up, and it isn't affected by how many friends you have in the group either. On Facebook, the more friends you have in a group, the more people will be notified that you posted in the group. Now, everyone in the group will be notified if a new post is there. There'll be a notification to group members. But don't be offended if you get no one commenting on your post. That just, I'm looking for the right words to say without sounding rude. But again, LinkedIn wasn't created to be chatty. It was created to get business done. So what happens is in the connections, in the messages, nobody's got time to sit around and chit chat and get to know each other. No, like, trust happens in one message, and it happens in the connection, in the actual messages area, not in the groups, not on the posts. Stephanie, before I go on, you want to say anything about that?
And I agree with that wholeheartedly. It's not in the group, it's not in the post, it's still in that message, that connection message. That's where the magic happens.
Yeah, one message. Now, people will send you a connection. By the way, people will send connection requests all day long with no message. That's actually a wonderful opportunity, because what I do, I check them out before I just accept them, because you don't get brownie points for having a ton of connections. Like, nobody cares. And you don't even see it. If you've got more than 500 connections, that's all anybody will see. So nobody knows that I have 10,000 connections except me. Whoop-de-doo. So no brownie points for that. So if they don't message me, I respond with, hey, really appreciated the connection request. Love to know how you heard about me. Did LinkedIn suggest me to you? How would you like us to be of support to each other? If they're on LinkedIn at all, if they're savvy at all, I will get a response. And what I will get is their, which would be called spam on Facebook. On LinkedIn, it's expected. They will tell me what they do. They will tell me their webinar that they've got coming up. They will tell me their sale that they've got coming up. Right, Stephanie, that's what comes back, right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And we're just saying to all of you, if you get offended that they responded with a sales pitch, get over it. Because what they expect is you're going to come back with yours. And if there's some interest on either part, good. Otherwise, let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. Let's move on. And the connection request will stay there. And the next time they want to promote, they'll go through their messages and they'll send you a message to promote.
And I like what Dina said, and she made a good point. Yes, it's no nonsense, but it's not no personality, right?
Right.
It's no nonsense, but it's not no personality.
No, it's opinions, but opinions, Twitter is just opinions for the sake of opinions. LinkedIn is thought.
Mm-hmm.
And it's people who put thought into what they have to say. So some of that looks like Facebook. There's a lot of things you will not find on LinkedIn that you find on Facebook and vice versa. So the sharing of articles, like on Facebook, we wouldn't want to share other people's articles because it looks like we don't have anything to say over there. On LinkedIn, the sharing of other people's articles is great as long as you add your own thought to it. What did you think about this article?
Yes.
And then people will say, thank you for sharing the article. Thanks for finding something that relates to what I'm thinking about.
Yes.
So it takes a bit to get into the culture. Yeah, there's definitely personality, but there's a lot of thought and a lot of selling. That doesn't mean most people are going to buy. They're going to listen to you and go, okay, thanks, good to know. There was the last thing I'm going to say about connecting with people is for a long time on LinkedIn, there used to be something called a pod. I think they're losing interest now. So Stephanie, have you ever participated in a posting pod?
I have not done a posting pod.
Yeah, this was popular about 2 years ago. It was kind of like moving a business networking group onto LinkedIn. So if anybody's ever belonged to BNI or Latip or any of those, you would go in person and there'd be one person from every type of network marketing or entrepreneurial business, and you'd all share leads with each other. That was the whole idea. People moved that concept onto LinkedIn and said, hey, let's have a private group message. Oh, by the way, you can group message too. Mm-hmm. We can have a group message here and everybody drop the link to your post so that we all see what each other's putting out there and we'll all comment. And our people, my connections, will be notified that I commented on your post and vice versa. It was very labor intensive. People weren't participating equally, as you can imagine, right? It seems like a good idea, but then people don't participate equally. A lot of aggravation, and I've noticed that I'm not getting those requests anymore. So I think people have dropped it. And the other is because people have realized on LinkedIn, it doesn't matter whether people comment on your post or not.
Right.
everything's happening in the message. And the only reason you would use groups or use the search is so you can find your ideal audience and start messaging them. And if you don't want to always be on LinkedIn, the best thing to do in a message as we start to wrap up here, so this is my final tip, the best thing to do is to ask the person when you message them, are you also on Facebook? Because
Yes.
if they are, then they're spending more time over on Facebook.
Yes.
So say if you, oh, great, here's my profile on Facebook. Let's go meet up over there.
Yeah.
And then just move it off of LinkedIn and over to Facebook where you can be more chatty.
Yeah.
I'm more comfortable. Hey, Stephanie, any last tip for you about searching for your audience?
No, I think we've covered a lot, Stacey. We've covered a lot.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Everybody happy? Are we getting good? Thumbs up? Drop an
Okay.
X if this was worthwhile and you learned something new today. Drop an X. I'd love to know if we gave you something new.
There we
And
go. I'm starting to see X's, Stacey.
Okay,
Starting
we
to
gave
see
you
some
something
X's.
new. All right. Well, be prepared to fasten your seatbelt for tomorrow. Oh, I only saw one. Okay, now they're coming. Thrilled. Monique's thrilled. I love thrilled. I love thrilled. Okay, good, good, good. All right. Tomorrow, we're going to get into what makes a good profile. And when I mean good, I mean all-star. So if you want to Google ahead of time, so this can be home play ahead of time, Google what does it mean to have an all-star profile on LinkedIn, and then you'll be ahead of the game. And I'm Stacey Hall, usually teaching you how to go for yes and how to find your audience and what to say to them. But this is something fun and special. And Stephanie, thanks for jumping into the co-pilot seat with me here as we help people launch their LinkedIn presence.
Yes.
It's been really wonderful, everyone. Thanks. See you tomorrow. Happy rest of your weekend. Bye.